Hello, it's my honor to speak here. The title of my paper is Minority-Based Semiotic System on Social Media, a method that follows cultural psychology theory, nourishes the culture that is simply seen as out there. Let's see the next abstract. The bias of perceiving other cultures beyond the West as universally existing worldwide has been discussed in some human-computer interaction articles. These notions of cultural inequality have also influenced the decision made by the Emoji Unicode Consortium. This study serves as the first practical and theoretical counterargument in East Asia against the bias of viewing cultures outside the West as merely out there. Our, our analysis suggests that in Aboriginals' perception, they felt dissatisfied with the current emojis, and they thought the most effective approach for better promoting global culture equality was to develop a new cultural specific semiotic system. Yeah, and this study conducted qualitative research, which required to collaborate with those prestigious and esteemed members of target minority groups, and those people uh, tend to possess richer ethnic knowledge. And cultural semiotics refers to the symbolic forms within the community that shape its distinct culture. And these findings hold significance for the design industry and the future cultural preservation workers. That is, advocating for the integration of cultural semiotics and cultural psychology as a theoretical foundation. The proposed minority-based semiotic system acts as a keyboard culture, fostering mutual constitution with the human psychological process. This study just tentatively creates new emojis for the Nashi, Dulong, and Juno minorities' representative cultural elements. Both sustainability and intercultural communication of valuable minority cultures can be fulfilled through new emojis in Aboriginals' perception. And let's see the introduction. Uh, in this part, this study just introduced some human-computer interaction lecture, which already challenges the bias exists in the world, like the cultural partiality, and in this part also criticizes the Emoji Unicode Consortium for largely overlooking non-Western cultures in emoji creation, leading to a lack of culturally relevant emojis for indigenous communicators and an inability to in-group communication with higher convenience. And the development of emojis that represent each minority culture to ensure sustainability and dissemination, suggesting that reliance, rely, relying solely on the Western-centric Unicode Consortium is insufficient. Yeah, so the perspective of cultural semiotics can just provide a new perspective, yeah, just which emphasize the role of sign in conveying cultural messages. Yeah. Um, this part also touches on Roland Bother's view that anything in culture can be a sign conveying in a specific message. Yeah. And we can see that this part just lay emphasis on the development of culturally specific emojis to achieve cultural equality on keyboards worldwide and emphasizes the role of cultural semiotics in sustaining and disseminating traditional cultures. And let's see the next part, the scope. This study chose three scopes, Nashi, Dulong, and Juno, because the cultural elements of the three target minorities are um, tend to be disappearing or already dead. So, which is such a pity. So that's why they studies choose the three. And let's see the literature review. Uh, the emoji as a popular form of communication that can transcend the language barriers. Yeah, and it is also important to redesign the emoji for better for cultural understanding around the world. Yeah, because yeah, and also this study just provide several prior studies on redesign new emojis for certain nations or indigenous cultures. Let's see the examples. Uh, let's see this emoji, which stands for the Pakistan namaz culture. And let's see this emoji. This emoji refers to a African country's culture, uh, which is Ivory Coast. And let's see this emoji, yeah, the new vaccinated emoji, which aims to design for those conveying vaccine confidence, especially for those patients who have no like needle phobia. Yeah. So this part just the emphasis on the emojis function of cultural communication on social media, yeah, around the world. And also, let's see, according to the literature of vaccinated emoji, we can see that um, the scholars of this article um, express the perspective that the vaccinated emoji posted by those people accompanied with those vaccinated photos can just you know can just convey the vaccine confidence. Yeah, can also like you know creates the trends in social circles. Yeah, social circles. Yeah, which is also the function and concept of the keyboard culture. And let's see the theoretical framework. The first one is the cultural semiotics. As I earlier mentioned, the cultural semiotics just refers to the translanguaging instincts of human. Yeah, when human are like a baby or like a infancy, um, they tend to utilize those semiotic or those symbolic resources to tell the meaning of the environment. Yeah, so this is the translanguaging instincts held by the human being. And let's see the second one, the cultural psychology, the mutual constitution between the culture and psychology. And this model is proposed by the AIM in 2014, which uh, which claims that the human mind, also in the psychology, is both the producer and production of the social realities. So the human psychology and the social realities, I mean the cultural elements, exist in human life can just mutual influence. Yeah. So the So this study can better facilitate the cultural sustainability and dissemination around the world, can also help strengthen the members' sense of ethnic identity. Let's see the research question. The first one: what forms of nonverbal cues have Nashi, Dulong, and Junor Aboriginals used from ancient times until now? The second one is: how do the Aboriginals from Nashi, Dulong, and Junor perceive the current emoji and the unborn potential emoji tailored for their own culture? And let's see, this study just utilized the qualitative research, which is the insight semi-structure interview, and this study just respectively engaged 15, 16, and 12 participants in Nashi, Dulong, and Junor communities. And the insight semi-structure interview just prioritize to recruit those heads or local officials who tend to own much richer ethnic knowledge than those average Aboriginals. Let's say this is a data collection and analysis process. And let's see, here's the theoretical guideline of the first research question. Yeah, the classification of nonverbal communication. There are totally 7 clusters of nonverbal communication: kinesthetic cues, proxemic cues, artifactual cues, vocal cues, tactile cues, olfactory cues, chronic cues. Yeah. So the findings of the first research question will be classified by this classification theory. And let's see, this is the participants, the demographic information, and here the findings of the first research question. From the according to this form, we can see that these are all the nonverbal cues used by these 3 minorities. For example, like the curved wood, curved bamboo, leaf letter, and for instance, we can see the leaf letter only used by the Junor minority, yeah, the Asian Junor Society, yeah. And let's see the second form of the first research question. We can see that among all the nonverbal cues, yeah, the emoji is the only prevailing nonverbal cue used by these 3 minorities, and the rest of the nonverbal cue are just abandoned by those, yeah, because are super lagging. So this study just narrow down and focus on the emoji and just deep down to figuring out how they use the emoji and how they perceive the current emoji, yeah, and how they perceive the unborn culturally situated emoji tailored for their own culture. Let's see this form. We can tell that the smiling emoji are always top ranked. Why? Because those Aboriginals express that the smiling emojis can just always help them to show the courtesy to the other communicators. Yeah, so that's why. And also, the Aboriginals in Nashi, Dulong, and Junor tend to express their slight dissatisfaction toward the current emoji. Yeah, because the most of the current emojis released by the Emoji Unicode Consortium stands for the Western cultures, which maybe never come in handy within the Nashi, Dulong, and Junor community. And the Nashi, Dulong, and Junor Aboriginals tend to express great approval and expectation for community-based emojis, which can help them, bring them higher convenience within online group communication. These findings just align with prior research indicating that users in different countries and communities tend to use the emojis with specific cultural background. Yeah, and let's see. This is the emoji created in this study. Yeah, just tentative try. Yeah, let's see. This is the first emoji designed for the Nashi women's costume. We can see this picture took by the author in Nazi society nowadays. We can see uh, we can see there are seven discs, yeah, on their vest, yeah, on their waist. So why? Cause the authentic Nazi costume also embodies the traditional Nazi cultural value. Cause in the ancient Nazi society, the Nazi women always with higher status. The male is inferior. Yeah, and the women were responsible for working to support the family, or just super hard and tough. And the seven discs just we can see the seven discs embroidered on their waist symbolize that the Nazi women's shoulders always bear the sun and the moon, yeah, back stars, describing the daily basis of Nazi women of bustling from morning till night, yeah, just symbolizing the Nazi women's hard work. Yeah, let's see the Gino emoji, which stands for the featured costume of men and women. We can see the Nashi man's costume, always with white, white, yeah, linen shoes with border trim and no collar, with no buttons. And the women's costume are always like you can see, yeah, short, collarless, button-up tops with black fabric bordered in red and decorated with lace and colorful fabric. Yeah, and we can see this is the emoji design for a for an old Dulong custom, which is facial tattoo women. Yeah, just historically, the foreigners often cross the Goligung Mountain to the Dulong River to plunder the Dulong girls as 12 or 13. So to prevent them from being robbed, women always been, face tattooed to, scare those foreigners. Yeah. And let's see the conclusion. Yeah. According to the findings, we can see that uh, this study is the first study to practically uh, create the emojis for the Nashi, Dulong, and Juno until now. And this study also is the first study to, you know, explore the nonverbal cues used by the Nashi, Dulong, and Juno community from ancient times until now. Yeah, and according to the Bruno's perception, the new emoji can have the function of better cultural sustainability and dissemination, and also can help address the cultural bias exists in the world, especially when making the decisions of the emoji Unicode Consortium. Yeah. And also in Bruno's perception, the new emoji can help better dissemination and serve as a better global cultural stage. And just just like a advertisement around the world on internet, so can help attract more visitors here to boost local tourism and relevant industry like accommodation. So the emoji have the potential to boost local um, economic development. Yeah. And this study calls for more researchers and designers to emphasize the theoretical and practical significance of the development of culturally situated emoji that represent diverse places and cultures. Just as noted by Kim Ruthlander and Kummer in 2019, it is important for more and different nationalities to find cultural representation through emojis. Yeah, those. So for the researchers and designers, this will be the future subject. So thank you. That's all.